Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil fort, as the wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draw it. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure fort, like a shadow that never leaves. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who dwell on such forts will never be free from hatred. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who do not dwell on such forts will surely become free from hatred. For hatred can never put an end to hatred. Love alone can. This is an unalterable law. People forget that their lives will end soon. For those who remember, quarrels come to an end. As a strong wind blows down a weak tree, Mara, the tempter, overwhelms weak people who, eating too much and working too little, are caught in the frantic pursuit of pleasure. As the strongest wind cannot shake a mountain, Mara cannot shake those who are self-disciplined and full of faith. Those who put on the saffron robe without purifying the mind, who lack truthfulness and self-control, are not fit to wear the saffron robe. But those who have purified their minds, who are endowed with truth and self-control, are truly fit to wear the saffron robe. The deluded, imagining trivial things to be vital to life, follow their vain fancies and never attain the highest knowledge. But the wise, knowing what is trivial and what is vital, set their thoughts on the supreme goal and attain the highest knowledge. As rain seeps through an ill-thatched hut, passion will seep through an untrained mind. As rain cannot seep through a well-thatched hut, passion cannot seep through a well-trained mind. Those who are selfish suffer here and hereafter. They suffer in both worlds from the results of their own actions. But those who are selfless rejoice here and rejoice hereafter. They rejoice in both worlds from the results of their own actions. Those who are selfish suffer in this life and in the next. They suffer seeing the results of the evil they have done, and more suffering awaits them in the next life. But those who are selfless rejoice in this life and in the next. They rejoice seeing the good they have done, and more joy awaits them in the next life. Those who recite many scriptures but fail to practice their teachings are like a cowherd counting another's cows. They do not share in the joys of the spiritual life, but those who know few scriptures yet practice their teachings, overcoming all lust, hatred, and delusion, live with a pure mind in the highest wisdom. They stand without external supports and share in the joys of the spiritual life. Be vigilant and go beyond death. If you lack vigilance, you cannot escape death. Those who strive earnestly will go beyond death. Those who do not can never come to life. The wise understand this and rejoice in the wisdom of the noble ones. Meditating earnestly and striving for nirvana, they attain the highest joy and freedom. If you meditate earnestly, pure in mind and keen in deeds, leading a disciplined life in harmony with the Dharma, you will grow in glory. If you meditate earnestly, Through spiritual disciplines, you can make an island for yourself that no flood can overwhelm. The immature lose their vigilance, but the wise guard it as their greatest treasure. Do not fall into ways of sloth and lust. Those who meditate earnestly attain the highest happiness. Overcoming sloth, through earnestness, the wise climb beyond suffering to the peaks of wisdom. They look upon the suffering multitude as one from a mountaintop looks on the plains below. Earnest among those who are indolent, awake among those who slumber, the wise advance like a racehorse, leaving others behind. It was through earnest effort that Indra became lord of the gods. The earnest are always respected, the indolent never. The earnest spiritual aspirant, fearing sloth, advances like a fire, burning all his fetters. He will never fall back. He is nearing nirvana. As an archer aims his arrow, the wise aim their restless forts, hard to aim, hard to restrain. As a fish hooked and left on the sand thrashes about in agony, the mind being trained in meditation trembles all over, desperate to escape the hand of Mara. Hard it is to train the mind, which goes where it likes and does what it wants. But a trained mind brings health and happiness. The wise can direct their thoughts, subtle and elusive, wherever they choose. A trained mind brings health and happiness. Those who can direct thoughts which are unsubstantial and wander so aimlessly are freed from the bonds of Mara. They are not wise whose thoughts are not steady and minds not serene, who do not know Dharma, the law of life. They are wise whose thoughts are steady and minds serene, unaffected by good and bad. They are awake and free from fear. Remember, this body is like a fragile clay pot. Make your mind a fortress and conquer Mara with the weapon of wisdom. Guard your conquest always. Remember that this body will soon lie in the earth without life, without value, useless as a burned log. More than those who hate you, more than all your enemies, an undisciplined mind does greater harm. More than your mother, more than your father, more than all your family, a well-disciplined mind does greater good. As a garland maker chooses the right flowers, choose the well-taught path of Dharma, and go beyond the realms of death and of the gods. As a garland maker chooses the right flowers, those who choose the well-taught path of Dharma will go beyond the realms of death and of the gods. Remembering that this body is like froth, of the nature of a mirage, break the flower-tipped arrows of Mara. Never again will death touch you. As a flood sweeps away a slumbering village, death sweeps away those who spent their lives gathering flowers. Death sweeps them away while they are still gathering, caught in the pursuit of pleasure. But the wise live without injuring nature, as the bee drinks honey without harming the flower. Do not give your attention to what others do or fail to do. Give it to what you do or fail to do. Like a lovely flower, full of colour, but lacking in fragrance, are the words of those who do not practice what they preach. Like a lovely flower, full of colour and fragrance, are the words of those who practice what they preach. Many garlands can be made from a heap of flowers. Many good deeds can be done in this life. The scent of flowers, or sandalwood, cannot travel against the wind, but the fragrance of the good spreads everywhere. Neither sandalwood, nor the tagara flower, neither lotus nor jasmine can come near the fragrance of the good. Faint is the scent of sandalwood or the tagara, but the fragrance of the good arises high to reach the gods. Good, earnest, and enlightened, never can Mara come near them. A true follower of the Buddha shines among blind mortals as the fragrant lotus, growing in the garbage of the roadside, brings joy to all who pass by.